else remembers Thumbelina, the tiny girl who wanted to explore the world? But what if I tell you that she was actually a tiny girl who got trafficked, exploited, extorted for everything she got? Her value, her looks, her self-worth, her love for Cornelius, the little animals in the wild. They weren't playing any games. Luckily, Thumbelina did survive, but she barely made it.
And now, back to our regularly scheduled program. Only on Yapping About Nostalgia.
We're gonna start off with the toads. When we first see Thumbelina, she always had this dream that she wanted to be big, be bigger than what she is, and she wanted to explore the world. Luckily, Cornelius, he flew by, being rebellious, and saw little Thumbelina in her house, which, mind you, that's kind of creepy, that's kind of weird. He gave her a whole new world experience. While they were singing, the family of España, the family of toads, heard her from above and like, oh my gosh, this is the perfect money opportunity. Thumbelina woke up. You can immediately tell that Mrs. Toad, she was already spot checking her more vulnerable traits. Mrs. Toad could tell that Thumbelina did not have that mature mindset, so she could easily manipulate her. And her more vulnerable spots was her love for Cornelius, because she would not shut up about it. Which, I understand. She didn't even have to leave the house to find her man. Wish the same. But she wanted to be seen and she wanted to be loved by everyone. Mr. Toad knows this.
I think I'm gonna marry him.
Marry him? Ay, Chihuahua, that will be a very big mistake.
She knows that she can't really tell Thumbelina that, marrying Cornelius is awful. But she reframes it in a way of just saying, oh, if you marry Cornelius, your career's over. He's gonna stop your career. You're not gonna be big. She was grooming Thumbelina. I want that to be clear, that she was grooming Thumbelina that whole time that she was with her. She's like, you are big, you are famous, you're beautiful, like the world wants to see you. But she only wants to see the money that Thumbelina will give her. Because listen, you have to understand that Thumbelina is a human in a world of animals. Tiny human at that. And she can understand the animals. She's a commodity. Because of that, Mr. Toad was like, oh no, we're going to have to finesse our way to make her see that she needs to stay. She started with the career line.
It will get on the way of your career in show business while doing all the time those things domesticos.
Reinforcing that this is her moment. It's an idea to Thumbelina that this is what she's meant to do. Mr. Toad was forcing her to sing. She created the song in a way that is safe enough for Thumbelina to actually shine, which is funny to me because they squashed it immediately after telling her that, oh, she needs to marry her son. And Thumbelina was like, whoa, this wasn't part of the deal. So Mrs. Toad's first objective was to exploit Thumbelina. Her second objective is allowing Thumbelina to marry her son. Son was saying, Ma, I want to marry her. She's like, oh, that's fine because we can keep the money inside the family, okay? So that means if Thumbelina actually married her son, she would basically be like a slave under contract. Kind of like some of those artists where once they sign the contract, they're indebted to the company because they had to pay it off. Mrs. Toad buying the materials for the wedding, getting her the dress, jump-starting her career, that's money she's investing into Thumbelina. Her son wanting to marry Thumbelina, I feel like would even out the cost, so that's why she was okay with it. Thumbelina was not okay with that, but they left her on that lily pad and went away, so she was isolated. They knew it would be difficult for her to lead the lily pads. I would say they didn't have any reasonings to believe that Thumbelina would escape. They already felt that she was a part of the family and they were gonna have a big financial success with Thumbelina on the tour. We're gonna go into the beetle. The beetle, he was a weird one. He was a weird fellow. He was basically a scouter. It reminds me of the K-pop artists were saying that they randomly got scouted on the bus. The scouter came up and was like, hey, do you sing? Can you sing, my woman? That was basically what the beetle was doing to Thumbelina.
I love the sound of your voice.
He was overcomplimenting her looks, her beauty, her taste, which I don't know how I feel about that. I was like, ugh, okay. He's mirroring Mrs. Toad in a way, saying that she needs to be seen. Why is she hiding? She needs to be on stage. Because she was groomed by Mrs. Toad to believe that way, she was still conditioned to not see the red flags that was going on. When people randomly come up to her and say, oh my gosh, you're beautiful, let me help you. She didn't see the red flags yet because she was conditioned not to. Especially because he didn't come up to her with the proposal of her marrying him. He was just like, no, I need you for my performance. I feel like she knew what was going on and she was trying to manipulate the situation and him helping her instead of her helping him.
I have an idea. Can you fly me up there?
But that backfired and he took her to the Beetle show. Which, that was a whole mess. When he saw Thumbelina, he saw her as a muse. And the way that he was coming up to Thumbelina, it seemed like she was perfect the way she was already. It was funny when they got to stage, he immediately dressed her up as a beetle, not showing any of her natural beauty whatsoever. Her being human, which is equated also to her beauty, he was just concealing her. When the costume wore off for her, the audience thought she was ugly. I feel like he intentionally did that just to have more shock value to his performance, because before, like, his performance was okay and we're like, oh, this is good, but once he changed her and showcased who she really is to the audience, everyone was like, oh my gosh, you let her on stage? Her? Creative artists sometimes creates just for shock value because that would have people talk. You want people to talk about your artwork, good or bad. That whole performance was a humiliation ritual. It was an emotional breaking point for Thumbelina. So heartbreaking, but I'm so glad Giacomo found her on the tree ledge and said, why are you caring about what other people say? You love them? She's like, no. And you're like, exactly. Why are you so bothered? This is the pep talk she needed, especially for what's to come next. Oh my gosh. Now we're gonna go into Mrs. Fieldhouse. That lady, that mouse. I feel like she was the most dangerous out of all the characters that Thumbelina faced so far. She was a little schemer. When Thumbelina woke in Mrs. Fieldhouse, Field Mouse. She Field Mouse or Field House? She wasn't safe. She was just confined for a certain period of time because we soon find out that her and the beetle are collaborating. But she was giving her warmth, shelter, food, being a friend to Thumbelina, something that Thumbelina hasn't experienced in a long time because everyone else was trying to get her. At least she felt safe in this mouse's home. Nah. The whole time the mouse was observing her while she was in her home.
Drink this.
At least that toad won't find me down here.
When she gave her that cup, she purposely went around her and she was eyeing her figure. She was saying, oh, can you sing? Do you have a beautiful voice? I heard you have a beautiful voice. Just asking her questions. I feel like Thumbelina felt like something was off, but she still had that naive mindset that at least someone would help her.
I saved your life this very day and you'd rather not.
She manipulated Thumbelina to see the mole. She knew Thumbelina would not say no to help her. First of all, even if she said no, she can easily kick her out into the snow. And Thumbelina, she had to weigh her options. She's like, okay, I guess I'll see this freaking mole.
I love love stories, don't you?
The mouse lady was basically running a brothel. She knew the mole was lonely. She knew the mole wanted a wife. She knew all this. That's why she brought Thumbelina over to the mole. She was like, this is my perfect opportunity to get more cash and also get Thumbelina out her way, because I don't think she wanted Thumbelina in her house. The mouse seemed like an independent woman. She did not want anyone in her house. She loved money. That's it. She was the opposite of Mrs. Toad. Mrs. Toad loved her family. She would do anything for her family. I feel like the mouse, if she had a family, she would marry them off too. She would sell them off. She was basically selling Thumbelina off. Oh, that's the word. She was selling Thumbelina off to the mole. Because the mole was like, okay, if you get me with Thumbelina, I'll give you a good check. And she like, yeah, bet. This is easy. I'll have her by tomorrow. You'll be married by tomorrow. She was selling the image of a perfect wife to him. That's why he didn't realize what was going on. I feel like even if he realized what was going on, he was the one who initiated this exchange, this buying exchange, this selling of Thumbelina. You could tell she was marketing Thumbelina to him because she was like, oh, Thumbelina, tell him a story. And Thumbelina's like, I don't know, I want to tell him a story. She's like, tell him a story. That's basically what she was saying. But she wasn't yelling.
Thumbelina, tell Mr. Mole a story.
She was also controlling Thumbelina as well, changing her mindset on what love is and what marriage is for. Marrying for love is not enough. You need that check. And you know, although the mole is not that attractive, he still got money, he could probably help you. This is the best deal. You have no one. Your love is dead. Your friend is gone. And you can't find home. So, like, this is your best option. I still question as to why Thumbelina didn't ask her as to why she didn't want to marry the mole. Because she knew the mole already. She could marry the mole for convenience. Why didn't she? I want to talk about Thumbelina's mindset in the ending. I feel as though she viewed the mole as an alternate reality. While she was walking up the aisle, she kept on reflecting back to her time with Cornelius and him saying, "Let me be your wings" and stuff. Basically reassuring her that he will be her safety, he will be the one to protect her, he's the love of her life, blah, blah, blah. So she was battling these two realities. She could either, one, go the safe route, which is to marry the mole, or go to option 2, which is still hold on to this fantasy of her marrying Cornelius. Because, mind you, before she got kidnapped, she was supposed to meet the parents and get married the next day. That's why she was so shook, because she's like, I'm supposed to marry my love of my life. Where is he? Why am I out here? She was battling these two realities until she said, okay, I had enough. I do not want to continue living in this cycle of being exploited. When she said no, everyone was like, oh my gosh, no. She would say no to everyone because she knew if she said yes, she would never escape this cycle of being exploited. So props to Thumbelina, because she didn't wait for the prince to come up to say, no, I don't want this. I don't want this anymore. I would be sick if I was that tiny and the world was out to get me, because literally everyone was out to get her. Everyone wanted her because she was a commodity, like I said. She was a tiny human living in nature. Of course, everyone wanted her. I feel like, in a sense, you can also tell that in Thumbelina's world, nature loved humans, and they idolize humans in a way as well. If they didn't idolize humans in such a way, I feel like no one would have tried to take her. It's just an interesting thought. But I hope you guys like this video. Please, I'm hot. I don't know why I'm wearing this coat, but it's such a cute coat, but it's hot in my room and the lights are on me. But I hope you guys like this video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Please let me know what you guys think about my take about Thumbelina being trafficked. I would love to hear what you guys think about it. I love Thumbelina now. It was my first time watching it. I watched it this year. It was a great movie. I loved her love story with Cornelius as well. It was pretty cute. And I'm glad he survived, because I thought it was going to be a tragedy. I thought that man wasn't going to come back because he was frozen. And I was like, oh, there's no coming back from that. But luckily he survived. Please let me know down in the comments what you guys think about this movie. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!